This week I want to talk to you about price objections. There's so many things we buy in life, right? You might buy a new pair of shoes, you might buy a shirt, you might buy a house, you could buy a number of things, and in most things that you buy, there's multiple options of who to purchase it from. If there's not, then that price could be whatever it wants to be because there's just one person that basically capitalizes on that market. But usually there's a few places you can go. And so when we shop for things, like let's just take shoes. When I shop for shoes, I always go, all right, what's the quality of this shoe? If it's a low quality shoe, I might have to buy more than one shoe over time. If it's a higher quality shoe, then my money's going to last me a lot longer because I won't have to go around and turn around and buy another shoe. We do this math all the time, right? If I want to buy a backpack, I can go to Walmart and I can buy a backpack. I can go to 𝗬Me and I can buy a better backpack. I have a 𝗬Me backpack, by the way, and I used to buy a backpack every year. I haven't bought a backpack in like 6 years because that thing has lasted me 6 years. Now, as a consumer, in my head, I always do the math on how long is it going to last divided by that many years, and that's really what the price is. I call that price per use. So when I do my price per use, I go, that 𝗬Me backpack, though it was really expensive, actually wasn't, because over time I've gotten my money back. So this is math everybody does. What's happened in the mortgage and the real estate field is you've got these people going out there saying, like, for mortgage, we're this rate, and it's like a crazy low rate. And sometimes they're lying. And in those cases, it's just important that the loan officer says, yeah, that's actually not true. Here's what they're not telling you. Here's the reality. But sometimes there's an interest rate that is better than the interest rate another loan officer has to offer. And it's just that this one's cheaper. And so just like with everything, if I'm shopping for a mortgage, I'm looking at this mortgage that's cheaper and this mortgage that's more expensive. And my one question is, what do I get from this one that I'm not getting from this one? So if you're selling mortgage rates and you've got a little higher rate than everybody, then what you want to do is do the math on how much that rate will cost the borrower every year or over the life of the loan or how long they might stay in it. And then take that number and go, what am I doing that they're not doing that's worth this much money? This is a calculation you must do in sales or you can't confidently sell the higher interest rate. The NAR lawsuit has caused a lot of realtors to go back and go, are they going to challenge the fee when a buyer has to pay that fee up front? Or if the seller doesn't cover it, the buyer's going to have to pay it when the seller normally would have. And so in these cases, a lot of realtors have to go, well, what do I give them in exchange for this fee? And that's what's happening kind of across real estate right now. So if I'm going to buy $1 million house and my purchase is going to be, let's say, a 2% buyer's agent fee, that's $20,000. So right now, every agent needs to go, okay, what am I doing that's worth $20,000 for this buyer? And if you can't do that math, then you should lower your price. If you can do that math and show what you're providing, then you should be so confident about that price that none of the NAR stuff should scare you. If you can justify that fee, you should not be scared. And so no matter what you're selling, you have to remember that on the other side of that sale is a consumer. That consumer wants value. They want to buy something, they want a high quality at a lower cost. You might be a higher cost, but if you can show that value you're bringing, it's a way easier sell. And that's what we call sales. So focus in as a salesperson on what is the value I bring that's different than the value they're going to get otherwise when they pay less. And then just communicate that. And I recommend doing that through stories. Tell the story of, hey, yeah, you can go with this. And here's what I've seen when people have gone with the lower cost option. And be able to defend it using a story that explains your worth. That's my message for you this week. Have a great week.